So, guys, if you don't know me, I am Camir Ricketts. I am founder of Minds of Jamaica. We're here. We're starting our mentorship Mondays. So,
Yep.
each Monday, hopefully, we'll have a different mind, our mentor coming on board, coming on live to just discuss their journey. And today we have Conroy Thompson. If you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, man, definitely. Hi, I'm Conroy Thompson, and I have the Minds of Jamaica. And as Camille mentioned, it's Mentorship Mondays, so I guess I'm the first to go, and I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
if you
talk
guys
about this one.
So guys, if you don't mind, submit any questions that you may have using that the question icon to the right of the comment section, so that we can see the questions coming in as we go. We'll try to get to as many questions as possible. And just for those who may be new to Minds of Jamaica, what Minds of Jamaica is a mentorship platform that we're developing to allow young Jamaicans who are striving to be the best selves in a variety of careers, allow them the access to professionals who are in the positions that they want to be in, right? So mentorship has been huge in my development. So Mind Jamaica is hopefully able to connect young people with mentors of their own to help guide them as they go on, right? So I'll let you kind of talk more from here, but kind of give us, start as we discussed, start at the end, and we can work our way back. So what do you do now? What industry? What exactly do you do?
What do I do? Well, currently I'm the training development manager at Half Moon, the hotel. I also am an adjunct lecturer, lecturing in the HR field. So anything HR,
Yeah,
I as well. Various tertiary institutions. I have not always started out in HR, but tonight we will, because I noticed one of the questions was, how do you help somebody who don't know what they want to find what they want?
yeah,
And I'm excited to answer that question because I realize even at this age, and many persons will attest to this, even at this, sometimes even when you get to a certain stage in your life, there is
yeah,
something that you're always evolving, always something. So I can't wait to answer that particular question from
mm-hmm.
my experience. That is, it's important for me to share with the younger and even persons my age as well,
Yeah,
who find themselves and find their career. uh, that mentorship is something that is very both ways. Mentorship from you're looking to someone for guidance, and
yeah,
for you to become a mentor to somebody else. It is very, very important. And even in my journey, I wish when I was younger, and as I share my journey this evening, I hope persons will understand the dynamics of growing up with various factors working against you and not having that solid person to kind of guide
yeah,
you. You do a lot of mistakes. So I guess that's why I'm in the field that I'm in, because even from my point of view, when I'm doing my training sessions at work, I do not only train on, this is what the standard is for the hotel, this is whatever it is, but I also train from a standpoint of, listen, this is life skills that I'm giving, so that you can even pass on to your own children. So
yeah.
that's where I'm, you know.
And how long? Because you're also a lecturer, right? What kind of areas do you lecture in as well?
Well, I lecture everything HR. So
Mm-hmm.
training and development, recruitment and selection, negotiation skills, employee and employment laws, labor laws, especially even right now with the whole COVID situation, that
Yeah.
in full um compensation management, and as it relates to even redundancy,
Mm-hmm.
payments, and that is something as well that is really, really now even more drawn into sharp focus with the whole situation. I also do consulting work for small businesses. So I go into the small business, I assess their whole framework, not only the HR, because I have to look at the entire management structure
Mm-hmm.
that business, and then infuse real HR in there. And when I say real HR, it is more than just hiring and firing. You're talking about, you know, how you attract the right persons to really line up with the vision of your company.
Yeah.
To bring your company to point B. It is pointless for you to just hire any willy-nilly and say, oh, you know what, I'm a virgin sister, you know, but let me just hire. That can be to your detriment as a business owner. So I go into those companies as well, and I assess the overall thing and then set them on a path to kind of realize the overall objective. So I go by HR strategy and training and development strategist, because everything from a strategy, you know, and making money is at the end of the day what every company. So I show them how HR can help them do that. And I come from a very unique place because I started out in sales and revenue management. So I understand that side of things as well as the gestation side of things. So I piece all of my experiences over the last 20 plus years together and come up with what is called now the winning formula. How you get to attract people to build your customer base and then maximize on revenue. Because maximizing on revenue does not mean that because you're making a profit, you're maximizing profit. You're just making a profit. But to maximize profit, to get all the profit that you can get out of your business. So
when you're when you're interacting, I guess, with people who may not be in your field, say younger folks, maybe your mentees or so on, do you find people have a misrepresentation of what HR is?
Absolutely. And it's funny enough you ask me that, because I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. She's a business owner the other day. And her thing is, Conroy, apart from you, me not trust no HR. So I remember like, what mean? You know? But the notion is, and when you go into businesses, some HR company or some HR are looked on as not having their staff back. But HR is a very dynamic, a very dynamic field, very broad, very dynamic. And I explain why I say dynamic. You're looking at satisfying two sets of people. You're looking to satisfy, at the end of the day, your boss, who owns the company and runs the company, and you're looking to satisfy as well your staff who works for this company. So it is very tricky sometimes to find that balance. You understand what I mean? And you do not want to be seen as weak, but at the same time you do not want to be looked at as villains. And a very fundamental part of HR is striking that balance and having your people's confidence in you as HR to represent them, because that is what HR, back in the days, it was personnel. Personnel, you fill out your application form, you know, you look the work, and you fire. HR will go deeper than that. You're talking about talent management. How do you keep your well-skilled workers in your company? And not only that, how do you develop them not to leave but to stay? They can be of use to you. And how do you keep them motivated? And that's why you have a lot of job hoppings. You know, I used to job hop when I was younger, because I have one of those minds that is very quick, and if it is not applied properly, I get bored very easily. And you find people, especially these days, that when you hire them, it is what's it for me. How do you help me to realize what it is? If you're not doing that, they are going to look elsewhere for whatever satisfaction they're looking for. So I would want that HR is a deep, dynamic, broad area, but you do not have to even practice it on an overarching scale. Because within HR, then you have different.
Yeah.
training and development. Like I settled with training and development. You have
Yeah.
the with the negotiation side, who deals with and work with like maybe the negotiations with companies. You understand
Yeah.
what I mean? The unions. So you have different areas in nature that you can, that person can zoom into, delve
Yeah.
into.
So for a student who is, I guess, going along that path, at what stage would they make that distinction? Is it that at university you would train development versus negotiation, or is it afterwards in the workforce you kind of end up specializing?
Afterwards in the workforce, because in the HR management program, you have to go through all of these different sections. You
Yeah.
have to go through training and development at length. You have to go through negotiation at length. You have to go through employment and relations and employment laws at length. You have to delve into all of that. You will now make the assessment and say, you know what? While I am not ready to become an HR manager, I would want to still work in HR as maybe a
Yeah.
benefits man who deals with like the Sagicors of the world and the dealing with the whole life insurance policies, the different
Yeah.
benefits, that type of thing. So
Okay.
it's very wide, but then you can pinpoint as you go along.
Okay. Well, we got one question. I guess we'll try to tackle one question somebody submitted here. I guess they know that you're in the tourism sector. So they're asking, what advice would you give persons who work in the tourism sector during this time, COVID-19?
Oh,
You know, it's tough. Yeah.
this is very near and dear to me because we are all affected.
Yeah.
As I said, I work at a resort that is now closed.
Mm-hmm.
I would strongly suggest, and I've been preaching this part of COVID, make sure that you find other things that you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
Broaden your skills as wide as possible. Because at the end of the day, you do not want to be held ransom by one industry.
Yeah.
So that's why for me, I made sure that I developed other skills. So I developed my lecturing skills. I developed my content skills so that I can do other things outside of just focusing on one area. It is we knew from the announcement of this virus that it would have been a detriment to
Mm-hmm.
a fragile industry as the tourism industry. Anything at all can affect this industry.
Yeah.
Anything. We saw what happened with 9/11. We saw what
Yeah.
happened in 2000 with the downturn of the economy. And now we've seen it again, but this time it is on a wider scale. We
Yeah.
have
It's crazy.
shut down everything. So I would suggest, especially in this time, take the time. There are myriads of free online courses right now. Diversify your human capital up yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The brain there's no containment for it. You
Yeah.
can't look outside of. So, for example, if growing up you like to cook, you have the platform now. You have your device. Go live in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Post it on YouTube. Monetize that. You understand what I mean? So in these times, do not waste an opportunity in a crisis. Don't waste it, because the opportunity is in here for us to get.
All right. Thank you very much for that, boss. I think a lot of people, as I said, a lot of people being affected by this. So I guess we can touch on more mentorship. Because I saw a question earlier, asking what should someone look for in a mentor. I guess in your experience, because you've been in that role for multiple people and Mind
Yes.
Jamaica and outside of Minds Jamaica. So what do you think should students or just people in general be looking for in a mentor?
Look for a mentor that can relate to you. What you do not want to happen is you seek after persons just because of their name. And I'm gonna explain using my personal experience. Yes, it's all well and good when you can admire from afar, you admire their work, you admire whatever it is that they do on a day-to-day basis. That's fine. And you can look at them for inspiration. That doesn't mean that they are the right fit as a mentor. Because it's intimate. It is something that you have to invest in somebody. And if the individual do not have the time to invest in you, you are going to feel as if you're wasting your time. So you look for somebody that is stable. And when I say stable in how they do their thing. They keep pushing. It's the fault of mentors who got fired.
Yeah.
But then and I've learned the lesson in that.
Yeah.
Because show me where the lesson is. So look for mentors that are stable and have your best interests at heart. Do not just look for mentors because I have a mentor and you do not communicate. So the communication skill has to be there both ways. You understand what I mean? As well as ensure that whoever you're looking to be mentored by is in or heading to your end goal or a particular goal that you're trying to reach. Because again, you want to make sure that it is relevant to you, right? You do not want to get astray. Yes, you want to be an astronaut, but then you're being mentored by a there's so much that chef, while that chef can teach you the discipline and whatever, you have to find that mentor in that area. And there's not multiple mentors at all. And that's what I mean. So that's some of the things that I look for in a mentor. And I wish, and I said to you when we just met and we just talked, I said when I was going to high school, I had a mentor because then I would not have made so many mistakes. However, I am a firm believer as well that as I go along and looking back on my journey right now, every single mistake that I've made led me to know. And I was wise enough to pick these gems along the way and keep them so that I can learn from it and pass it on to the next person coming along to say, hey, don't try that way because this is what happened.
And that's why, and that is the inspiration behind like Mind Jamaica, because as much as mentorship, I don't think it is talked about enough in Jamaica, or it is only discussed in the context of say mentorship for at-risk people or people with behavioral issues, which of course is important use of mentorship, but career mentorship and general mentorship is so valuable for your development, career, and otherwise. So we want to create a resource where you can access different people and engage with them and figure out who is the right mentor.
I'm going to say something. You mentioned career management, development. Again, and that's why I'm so passionate about HR. In its truest form and in its truest sense, HR, there's a part of HR I'm seeing lacking in Jamaica, and that's the career management section. I'm not talking about the famous words or the famous phrase that they use in flying around every day. Succession planning and succession planning. Succession planning is for the company. Career management is for the individual. So while you have succession planning and that's always good for the company, career management is for your people who you have working for you. So you manage and half the time businesses would have been so much more profitable if career management was a part of their thing, because then they would understand how to put the right people in the right spot, and not just because I like her and she can can't put her at the cashier place. and that's all you see her as a cashier.
Yeah.
I admire. There's this one business owner in Montego Bay that I look up to. He I don't know, he runs his company. He runs his company as a, I don't know, it's like a university. I look at it from the outside in like a university.
Yeah.
You know, he has a photo studio, but you would never, I mean, everything about his operation is like well thought of.
Yeah.
So it is a photo studio. You understand what I mean? I've seen and I've worked with him and I've seen how he owns the skills of his people and things like that. It drives and motivates staff. So they're more than just a photographer, or they're more than just somebody who just, you know, they use them up in the areas, and that is one thing that I think companies need to. The motivation of a person is more than money. It is more than money.
Yeah.
You understand? Because you will pay them good money, but then they lack the motivation because you're not providing that for them, and they're going to look elsewhere to find growth. And every time you hear, oh, there's no growth here, when you dig deeper, they're not motivated. You know, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. I think and it was cool because earlier you mentioned even the questions that we got earlier, and you can see from the question that people enjoy kind of feeding on the knowledge of other folks. And I guess one question we got, I don't know, can you see it? Remember, we said, what is your encouragement to young people who still don't know what they want out of life? We got that one.
This is the question that I cannot wait to answer. Listen to me. The only encouragement that I can give, and I don't know if that the question was phrased the way that they want to phrase it, but I'm going to take the question as what it is, and then I'm going to also interpret it a different way.
Yeah.
While you may not know what it is that you want to do right now, one thing is for certain: every single person that I know, whether they are thief, robber, like is, they did not set out at an early age to end up being a thief, a robber, or whatever. They didn't. Neither did the parent of that child. Did not work hard and say, no, I'm missing a girl school, but I go to school because I got teeth. No.
Yeah.
What I would say to young people, you know what you want, but you just need direction. Direction is what it is. It is not a lack of not understanding. Well, it is a lack of understanding as how to get to want. So therefore, you need to get some form of guidance to help you along. Because again, if I had guidance growing up, proper guidance growing up, half of the decisions that I made and not make, I wouldn't have. It would have gone otherwise. You understand what I mean? For example, I mentioned before, I used to be a job hopper. People used to fear to hire me because they fear about me. Because guess what? I was one that was so, I thought I knew everything. So as soon as we woke up on a management that just not so no one, waste my time, me gone. You understand? And I used to have a phrase, in the industry, when I just started out, set back light. So me take up here and go anytime. Right? But I lacked guidance and maturity. So yes, I was smart, but no, the mature side and the guidance was lacking. So I would advise, the young, whoever comes with that question, find somebody that can guide you, because pretty much they will be able to help to point into the right direction, point you in the right resources, to get you to where you want. And I want to also pinpoint in here that mentorship is not about spending money on somebody. Yeah, it is how you align people with the right resources to get them to where they need to go.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think even with this, when they say you don't know what you want out of life, sometimes you just don't have the language, like something you just don't have the exposure to this thing that is out there that is perfect for you, but because it is not on your radar and your network isn't so that someone can put on your radar, you feel like you're lost. Because in my personal journey, the same way, there are moments where I'm trying to decide what I wanted to do, and it wasn't until I met somebody who I verbalized my interests to, and they were like, "Well, that sounds exactly like this profession," and that is the first time I ever hear of that profession. And since then, I got direction now as to where to go. So it's just having that direction, as I said. Another question we got was, what are the biggest struggles faced while working in the industry?
The biggest struggle in HR. Let me zoom in on HR. The biggest struggle in HR can be seen right now.
Yeah.
Right now, during this crisis, it is like a case study, and it is redefining HR as we know it in Jamaica right now. For example, a few weeks ago, the news broke of a particular radio station that had to go off here for a couple of days because of the laying off of some work, and the other workers, took industrial action, and then they had to call in, the union, and the negotiation skills had to come back into play.
Yeah.
These are things, and I remember I was telling you, you have to think about the two sides of the coin. You're thinking about the company and you're thinking about the employees' interest. You as the HR find that middle ground, that common ground, that satisfies both. Sometimes in finding that middle ground, it hurts or harm one more than the other. It will. Right? And when it comes to negotiation and to make sure that the staff interest is foremost, while not compromising your not compromising your ability to your end of the bargain as part of the leadership team.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you make some tough decisions. So, for example, you have companies now that have to be doing redundancy exercise. As hard as it is right now, that is the route that they have to go. Why? Because one, the cash flow we know is now interrupted for many. And if there's no revenue coming in, then what do you use and pay? And
True.
remember, some of these businesses, especially hotels, they still have to upkeep their property. They still have to make sure that the lights are on. They still have to make sure that running water is there. They still have to put loans to the bank on a monthly basis if they have loans to pay. So all of this revenue that was coming in is now shut off, and all the expenses still remain the same. And payroll and business people that that are on here are business people can take. Payroll is it is the largest line on the expense report. Especially if you're looking at 200, 400, 500, 900 staff to pay. So the difficulty in HR is when these moments come around, when you have to make tough decisions and try to see what best interest is for everybody. But as I said before, as best as you try to find the middle ground, there is always somebody who will be left getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, thanks for the time. And I know we're up against the time, the end of the session, but we have like one more question that was submitted. If you don't mind sticking around just a little bit longer. Yeah.
That's fine.
So someone was asking what's an average work day look like, I guess, for you, if there's such a thing as an average day.
There's no average work day. There's no average. Every single day is a different. Because of the industry that I work, it is quite, as I say, a dynamic. Every day is a different day.
Yeah.
So you'll go in and you'll be like, hey, it should be an easy day today. And because you're dealing with human beings, one of them might fight, somebody might decide to then go and breach a policy. You know,
Yeah.
that's throughout you have to go through the proper channels for the hearings, because you can't just dismiss somebody like that. And that's another thing too, why I decided to be a consultant for small businesses, to protect them, because that's a lot of them are feel a lot of labor.
Jan, think it's triple. Jan, can you hear me? Can't hear you, no? No, can't hear you. If anything, you can probably come up and then join again. Let's say I don't know what happened just now. All right, we're gonna get him back really quickly. A second here. Let's add him back. But yeah, man, I think it's important to kind of hear about these stories from people who are actually in the industry, and that's what we really, we're happy to be able to be on this platform to get that. Can you hear me now, Conroy?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you. I don't know what happened just now.
Yeah.
All right. I was saying there are different days, different days, and that's why I was saying that's why I help small businesses. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of them are not aware of proper labor laws. And as a result, they are being threatened by staff when they're leaving to say, I'm going to the labor board. Because they may have steal, they steal something or them fight, and the person decide that they're going to fire them. Yeah. When they can't fire them because blah, 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 and they're going to the labor board or whatever it is, a lot of them lack that protection. So the understanding of labor laws is something that I realize that, especially small business, some of them really invest in it, but a lot of them don't, because they don't see HR as important. Again, HR is more than hiring and firing. That's what I mean. I thought I see a question.
I think let's see. How important is it to provide personal development opportunities within the organization? And you touched on that earlier too. Yeah, man. Very important. You want to make sure that you get your team. My philosophy is, and they will tell you at work, my philosophy is a well-developed team is an easier team to lead. Yeah. A well-developed team is an easier team to lead. You understand? When they're empowered, they are more willing to go the extra mile, because they are being empowered. And empowerment is something that it is not always about money. You understand? Find courses and have them do. So for example, every year I make sure that I learn with various organizations overseas to do scholarships for my team member at work, so they can develop themselves. At the end of it, a whole graduation, feel nice, stuff like that, and it's something for them to take with them.
And it builds them. It builds them to realize, build them confidence, and then they put out so much more in, at work. All of this is something that at the end of the day it works for the organization. So not investing in your people can be to your detriment. There's one phrase that I love as a trainer. You know, one CFO ask the CEO, the chief financial officer, ask this chief executive officer, why are we investing in training? What if we train them and then they leave? And the CEO turned to the financial officer and said, okay, then what? Don't train them and they stay. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You are now here with people who lack training running your business. So it's a risk that you have to take. And it doesn't mean that even if after you train them, but you would have made those steps and they would have understood that you valued them enough to invest.
It's amazing, man. And I think we can I think we cover most of the questions here, so we can wrap up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Conroy, for joining. I think we have to do this again, and we will be doing it more times. We have so much things to touch on, but I think one of the cool things and what I appreciate about Minds of Jamaica is that the conversation doesn't have to end here for everybody. Like, that's why we created the minds.com. Like, anytime you see a mind or someone and it's somebody who you want to engage with and it's somebody you want to ask a particular question with, you don't have to wait until the IG live. You don't have to wait until an article in the newspaper or so on. You can go on the minds.com, register, and engage with them. Submit a question. We're trying to break down those barriers in between it, because at the end of the day, that knowledge transfer is how everybody going to develop on how we can get to where we are. So thank you so much for being on Mind, Conroy. I'm happy you're on board. And I don't know if you want to say anything else.
That question that I didn't answer.
Where? What are the transferable skills? That one?
No, I think it is too. Okay, so it's to provide personal development. Yeah, man, me talk about that.
That's all.
Employment.
Yeah. That's all we're just talking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You're good, man.
Okay.
You'll make sure everybody covered.
Yeah, I saw a comment from someone before I was kicked off saying that I think she said that I don't even know what I want to do or something like that. There was a comment that was
as grown as I am, I feel lost at times. That one.
Yes. I want to kind of, if you will allow me.
No, go ahead.
To understand that. The thing about it is, as grown as we are, and again, we may sometimes feel as if we do not know where the wind is blowing us.
Yeah.
And believe me when I say this, there is nothing wrong with reinventing yourself. Nothing wrong with it. 10 years ago, I would not dream of being I would not dream of practicing the training side of things 10 years ago.
Yeah.
15 years ago, I wanted to be the best sales manager on the property, and I was. 20 years ago, I wanted to be the best teacher in the world. Right? So you may not know exactly what it is that you want to do, and sometimes you may be lost. However, try as best as possible to have something that anchors you, but not linked to just one thing. Whatever anchors you is that thing that is going to provide for you. However, because of how life is, and trust me when I say this, life is so, I always say life is just so weird.
So weird.
That you would start out point A to go to point C. But life will skip over C and bring you to F and G and bring you back to get to C.
I really think, yeah.
That, it is for a reason. It is for you to collect those experiences along the way and really zoom back into and center again and find guidance.
Yeah.
And that you can confide in and say, because guess what? Camir, may you talk about this. Back in the days, there was only 3 professions in the world when it comes to Jamaican people. Lawyer, engineer. That's it. Lawyer, doctor, teacher. The world is now so dynamic. There are so many other things that come to the fore. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody going to go to college and university. You have some people who are so skilled naturally with their hands. They don't have to read a book to pull down one car.
Mm-hmm.
They are just, that natural gift is there. So find that thing, and trust me, everybody's like, oh, I don't know what that gift, I'm gonna have no gift, I'm gonna have no talent, I'm gonna have really. You see that thing that people will pay you for, that is what it is. Or what they ask you. Every minute they say, you can't do this to me. That is the money maker right there. That it is right there. I see your question here. One thing that was constant with you is that you wanted.
I think that made a type. You always wanted to be the best.
Absolutely. That's something. No. And sometimes I look at it as a curse, but then I look at it as excellent. I believe in that. Regardless of what it is, if it is supposed to just move a pin to put it on the table, it has to be done properly.
Yeah. Because
I'm also accountable to myself. And that is where integrity comes in. I cannot half-ass anything. It is unlike me. So if it's putting together a training session for one person, it is going to be as if I'm putting together a training session for 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Because that one individual depends on me as the person that is pouring into them. And people around you are looking. You do not know who is looking, who is watching. And that is where integrity comes in. So I have to make sure that I try my best to, in everything, that be excellent at it. No, that doesn't mean that I won't fail.
Yeah.
Because we fail. But you would have tried your best at the end of the day.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Well, thank you, Conroy, for coming on board. I think based on the engagement, I'm super excited for the rest of these Mentorship Mondays. We should have been doing this sooner, to be honest. But yeah, so so again, guys, if you want to engage more with Conroy or any of the other minds that you see we share on social media and so on, just go to themindsHub.com and go on the Meet the Minds page, and you'll be able to see everybody. And you can submit questions, request to connect, and Minds of Jamaica will facilitate starting that mentor-mentee relationship going. And I think it's really something that can just make everybody level up to another level. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Conroy. Blessings and peace.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.